It's been a wild past 24 hours. Behind me, I have it backing up 24 hours just to show you what we've been dealing with, the precipitation that's been coming down. Mixed precipitation, mostly seeing sleet, some frozen rain, things like that. Here it goes again, just so you can see it. It mostly was coming in the evening, in the overnight hours. And then this morning, so you can see it getting a little bit closer to the morning hours, it does start to clear up and things get a lot better. And that's where we are at this point. We're not seeing any more precipitation. We're not expecting any more. So basically, we are just going to continue to be partly sunny. That's what's going on right now. Now that's good news because that'll help the crews get some time to clear things up. But I know we've mentioned multiple times that some of that sleet or whatever is on the ground will start to possibly melt. If some of you ended up getting snow in the hill country, that could possibly melt and then actually refreeze overnight because we are going to continue to get colder. But overall, that main kind of concern has come to an end. That's why we don't have any more of the winter storm warnings in place. We also don't have the ice storm warning in place either. And now we're dealing also with cold temperatures. We'll get there. This behind me is drivetexas.org. So you should definitely check it if you feel the need that you must go out and drive. I know we're going to keep emphasizing it, that it would be so much better if you just stay inside and don't go out driving. Avoid travel if you can because it's still pretty dangerous out there, still pretty slick. This gives you what reports they're having on all the different roads. So last night while it was all coming in, I was checking on this and it really was not this convoluted. Most of it was happening up in the hill country, which made sense because they were seeing it first. But now looking at Austin, which is right in here, I know you can barely see it, that's Austin. And so all these little silver circles, they're little snowflakes, those are reports of slick roads, icy conditions, things like that. So we are still dealing with a lot. I know when I was outside, a lot of those roads are still covered with some type of ice or even the sleet, all of that stuff. So we aren't quite done with it yet. We've got to wait till it clears out. Then, of course, once we get warmer, a lot more warmer, we'll start to see it completely melt and move away, and it won't be a concern. But it's going to take some time until we get there. As far as the skies go, though, nothing's going on. I just wanted to show you that it looks very, very clear on those models. We do, though, have 2 counties in a winter weather advisory, Mason and San Saba. That's going to last until 6 p.m. just because that whole area, so if you can see the pink going beyond that, that's a different National Weather Service than the rest of us. We're in the Austin, San Antonio one. And so for that National Weather Service, their whole region could still get a little snow. So I think they just kept all the counties in there. I don't think it's likely that we're going to see anything happening in those 2 counties. But technically, you are under that winter weather advisory. So keep it in mind. Something else we were dealing with yesterday while this was all happening, lots of fog, visibility concerns. At this point, though, looking a lot better. I just wanted to reiterate that it's looking nicer out there. We can actually see it. Take a look at our tower camera. Actually looks very wintry-like. We don't get to see this too often. You can kind of see all the white tops on the buildings. Very different vibe, but some sunshine out there as well, and that's going to help us out too. But temperature-wise, we are below freezing right now, all of us, and we're going to stay pretty cold through most of this week, actually. So behind me here, extreme cold warning. We are still under that. We're going to be under it until noon tomorrow because temperatures are still going to be very, very cold to the point where they could be dangerous. So overnight tonight, where we drop down temperature-wise again, we could actually see wind chills that dip below 0. Our actual temperatures are going to get into the teens and even some single digits. So it's still a very cold couple of days ahead of us. Current temperatures, if you step outside, I mentioned that we're all below freezing. You can see that 32 degrees is the freezing point. We're down below it. Most of us are in the 20s. It's 24 in Austin right now, 24 in Burnett, 20 in Mason, 19 in Fredericksburg, 24 over in Giddings. Plus, still a little breezy too. We've got sustained winds around 10, 15 miles per hour, wind gusts around 20, 25 miles per hour. And because of that, we feel even worse. So those temperatures were cold, but they feel more intense than that. Fredericksburg, you feel like single digits. Llano, you feel like 10 right now. This makes sense, though, because overnight we're going to get even colder, and that's why we could have some of these feels like temperatures dropping below 0. Yesterday we hit 28 degrees for our high. Just wanted to let you know that. It's been cold, but today's been pretty cold, too. Overnight tonight, we're dropping down into the teens and 20s, and then the next afternoon, starting to see these numbers go up. It looks like everybody at some point should be over the freezing point, which is great news. Then that's when it'll come to an end, the weather warning that we have, the cold temperature warning, and then the next morning still stays cold. We're not going to be quite out of it. We actually have a pretty chilly week ahead. Look at all those lows staying in the 20s and 30s. But the good news is we start to go above freezing as we get into those afternoon highs. Friday has a chance for rain, and then Friday night, because it will drop below freezing, we could actually see a little bit of snow. It's not going to be like this event, but keep it in mind. It could end up being another time where it gets a little slick out there.